continue with, we will continue with item number 5, and the clerk tells me that we do have someone for public comment. So if they'll come forward.
Yes, Mr. President, it's Mr. Yancey. If you want to address the council this time.
I was here at the last full meeting. What I'm here for now is I need an attorney to protect me and my father's rights. I done exhausted all of my money fighting in the courts and paying lawyers. But in order to take this to the next level to protect me and my father's right, I need an attorney to protect our rights. I haven't filed income tax in 3 years because no one has gave me the authority, or they keep it in the air. But at some point, I need some help to navigate this. And I'm coming to this council and see whether I can get a private attorney to help me navigate to protect me and my father's right. I'm 65, my father's 85 years old, and I'm tired of being in the turmoil. I just want to be able to protect my family. I haven't seen my father in 18 months, and I know he was kidnapped. I gave you all the proper stuff, but unless I have an attorney, it's just in the air. So I'm coming to this council and see if this council could help me get an attorney to protect me and my father's rights. Thank you.
Anybody else?
No, Mr. President.
All right. Item number 6, need a motion to approve the minutes for the September 12th, 2017 regular meeting as printed
Excuse
on the
me,
agenda.
Mr. President. We just need to close out this committee of the whole meeting, and that's for the regular meeting.
All right,
Just
well,
need to adjourn.
all right, well, then we're adjourned. Thank you. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
So moved.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. If we go back to the top of the agenda and convening that particular meeting, then I'll need to take the roll call.
All right, thank you. I got lost in a discussion in the other room. The Cuyahoga County Council's regular meeting for Tuesday, September the 26th, 2017 is called to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Calling the roll, Mr. Jones. Here. Ms. Brown? Here. Mr. Hairston? Here. Ms. Simon? Here. Ms. Baker? Here. Mr. Miller? Here. Mr. Tuma? Here. Mr. Gallagher? Here. Mr. Schron? Mr. Schron is absent at the moment. Ms. Conwell is absent this evening. And Council President Brady?
Here.
You do have a quorum.
All right. Could I have a motion to excuse Councilwoman Conwell from today's meeting?
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The councilwoman is excused. We do expect Councilman Schron, as far as we know, to be present. You see him coming. Here he is. Back you. Timing is perfect.
Here.
Very good. Under silent meditation, just want to take a few seconds to remember our fellow U.S. citizens on the island of Puerto Rico who are without power and in great need. All right, thank you. Now, is there any more public comment related to the agenda?
Not at this time, Mr. President.
All right. Now, I would like a motion to approve the minutes of September 12th, 2017's regular meeting.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. The minutes are approved. There are no announcements from the council president today. Is there a message from the county executive?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I was going to talk about a couple of different things. Today we announced collaboration with NASA and economic development program. Councilman Miller was out there with us. I was going to talk about a new program we're doing with voter registration to fulfill the requirement of the county charter that was adopted a few years ago. But instead, I think I will just say a few words because today represents Chief Frank Bova's last county council meeting, which is sad, I think, for all of us. We all know how great a job Frank has done here. He's left us with a tremendous legacy. Under his leadership, we've seen a new gun lab. We've seen a regional data warehouse created. We've seen mobile cameras being used all the time now by our local communities. We've seen license plate readers being moved forward. The creation of a scam squad within the Consumer Affairs Department. We've today, I believe, on the agenda, you'll be looking at adopting our effort to take over the Cleveland Jail and open up a regional jail program in terms of supporting our various communities. So, and I could go on. Frank Bova's really done a super job, and I think we all in the community owe Frank Bova a debt of gratitude, and I just want to say thank you and let us acknowledge his great work here.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Legislation introduced by the council. Let's just forget it. Consideration of resolutions of council for first reading and referral to committee. Clerk, please read the item into the record.
Resolution number 2017-0167, authorizing the Veterans Service Commission to issue Ohio Veterans Identification Cards to qualified individuals.
This will be referred to finance.
Resolution number 2017-0168, adopting the 2017 Cuyahoga County Sustainability Plan in accordance with Section 202.18 of the Cuyahoga County Code.
Is referred to education.
Resolution number 2017-0169, authorizing a casino revenue fund loan in the amount not to exceed $250,000 and awarding a casino revenue fund grant in the amount of $500,000 to Northeast Ohio Neighborhood Health Services Incorporated for the benefit of the new East Side Market project located at 10505 St. Clair Avenue in the city of Cleveland.
And this will be referred to community development.
Resolution number 2017-0170, supporting an application for funding under the Clean Ohio Fund, a green space conservation program available through the Ohio Public Works Commission on behalf of West Creek Conservancy for the conservation of ecologically significant areas located within the Cuyahoga River Valley.
This will go to the environment committee.
Resolution number 2017-0171, supporting an application on behalf of the City of Brook Park for the conservation of ecologically significant areas in the Abram Creek Citywide Greenway Trail Phase 1 in the City of Brook Park.
This will also go to the environment committee.
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilman.
may I have my name added to this resolution, please?
Councilman Miller's name to this resolution.
What committee did you send it to?
We sent to Education, Environment, and Sustainability.
Yes.
Environment.
Yes, that's 171, I got that. Item B.
I'm sorry. Got to ask the question. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions of council for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could we have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2017-0141, adopting the 2018-2022 Cuyahoga County Department of Health and Human Services Strategic Plan in accordance with Section 202.10 of the Cuyahoga County Code.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Miller?
and my colleagues, I would like to congratulate Executive Budish and Director Pristow on completion of the first system-wide 5-year Health and Human Services Plan under the new government. This plan is a strong first step that includes commitments to both basic needs and prevention services. The plan places strong emphasis on early childhood education, workforce development, opiate crisis response, reentry, diversion of the mentally ill and addicted from the criminal justice system, elimination of racial disparities, and senior services, as well as continuous improvement of customer service, better measurement of program effectiveness, and performance-based contracting. Significant as this first step is, there are other areas waiting to be explored in plan updates, such as reduction of service overlaps, better integration of physical, mental, and spiritual aspects, better integration between workforce and health services, and client empowerment and self-direction. The HHS plan was the product of input from more than 2,000 people, and its development probably included the best and broadest public input process that we've seen under the new government. I recommend support of the resolution.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0151, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
So move.
Seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The non-bargaining classification plans that are before you were 7 revisions and 11 new classifications. And just for our colleagues' reference, as we move into the budget season, the new positions will not be posted unless the budgets are confirmed by OBM. So I recommend supporting the resolution.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0152, determining the services and programs that shall be provided and funded from the Veteran Services Fund in 2017, authorizing payments to various providers in the total amount of $461,117 for said services and programs for the period ending December 31, 2017, authorizing the county executive to negotiate and execute any necessary agreements, contracts, or other documents for same, as printed on the agenda.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded.
This is, I think this is our 4th round of doing this, and it's a real testament to our county and what we've done by saying that all veterans' dollars that come to the Veterans Service Commission will go back into a veterans application out there. And we are unique in the 88 counties in the state of Ohio. We're the only ones that are doing this specifically like this. So I think this council should be commended for taking our initiative 4 years ago and keeping that word and commitment for these next 4 years. Thanks. And I hope everybody supports it.
I would like, Mr. President, just to add my name to this.
Mr. President.
And just wanted to note, if I can, that the feedback from Legal Aid and the Land Bank on the use of these funds has been tremendous. And Land Bank's been able to reutilize the money to rehab houses that for veterans. And we've had several open up in the county, which has been really, really important on both ends. You know, cleaning up blighted property and providing homes. And Legal Aid really is using this money well. And I'm glad we're doing this.
Councilwoman Simon, Councilwoman Brown, and Councilman Tuma, and why don't we just put everybody's name on this one?
Just as one more comment from Ms. Simon when she was talking about the land bank. The land bank land is what is going towards the new Fisher houses that were funded last year as a result of this. And we are going to be the largest Fisher House complex being built with 2 Fisher houses as a result of that. And the deed transferred to the federal government just maybe 6 weeks ago. And a direct result of what we did last year.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Legislation introduced by the executive, consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Aye. The ayes have it. Rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2017-0172, amending the 2016-2017 biennial operating budget for 2017 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations for appropriation transfers and for cash transfers, amending resolution number 2017-0153 to reconcile appropriations for 2017.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Councilman?
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular bi-monthly fiscal agenda. Questions were forwarded to OBM and answered to our satisfaction, and copies of the questions and answers are on your desk. The largest item on the agenda is the appropriation of $6,977,000 in debt service and $10,842,000 in project funding from the excise tax, commonly known as sin tax. A second significant item is the transfer of $650,000 from adoption services to client services to cover additional needs for furniture, clothing, and kinship daycare. The administration provided assurance that the money in adoption services was surplus and that the transfer will not affect the providing of services in that area. I recommend support of the resolution under first reading suspension.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0173, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Ohio Council 8, Local 1746, AFL-CIO, representing approximately 1,220 employees in various classifications in the Departments of Health and Human Services and Public Works for the period July 1, 2017 through June 30, 2020, directing that funds necessary to implement the collective bargaining agreement be budgeted and appropriated.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded. As you all know, we had a good discussion in the executive committee meeting, and we are glad to have this before us today. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. This resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2017-0174, authorizing the county executive to accept and approve various dedications of land in connection with permanent parcel number 736-12011, located in the city of Shaker Heights, authorizing the county executive to execute the final plat in connection with said dedications.
Go to Public Works.
Resolution number 2017-0175, authorizing a second amendment to contract number CE 1300-548 with Marisufum for lease of office space in the Marion Building located at 1276 West 3rd Street, Cleveland, for the period December 1, 2013 through October 31, 2017, to extend the time period to October 31, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,219,536.
We'll also go to Public Works.
Resolution number 2017-0176, accepting a loan in the amount of $225,000 from Ohio Public Works Commission to finance the Broad Rock Drill Drop project in the city of Parma.
We'll go to Public Works. Broad Rock Drill Drop Project. All right.
Say that 10 times.
Resolution number 2017-0177, making awards on requisition number 39790 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $2,328,000 for various real estate review and appraisal services in connection with the 2018 sexennial reappraisal for the period July 17, 2017 through May 31, 2018.
And this will go to Finance. This is the second sextennial, is that what they call it? Reappraisal since the new government began, right? Last time was in 12.
Resolution number 2017-0178, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1400-326 with United Healthcare Services Incorporated for group healthcare benefits, including medical benefit management services for county employees and their eligible dependents, and for Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants, employees, and their eligible dependents for the period January 1, 2015 through December 31, 2017, for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $12,200,000.
Go to Human Resources. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution number 2017-0154, confirming the county executive's appointment of Michael P. Foley to serve on the Cuyahoga County Natural Resources Assistance Council for the term October 16, 2017 through October 15, 2020.
And this item will move to the October 10th, 2017 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0155, confirming the county executive's appointment or reappointment of various individuals to serve on the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board for various terms as printed on the agenda.
And this item will also move to the October 10th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0159, authorizing a First Amendment to a memorandum of agreement with Village of Woodmere for construction, operation, and maintenance of sanitary sewerage systems located in County Sewer District number 21.
This item will also move to the October 10th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
President, I move to suspend the rules.
Been moved and
Second.
seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2017-0103, authorizing a purchase and sale agreement in the amount of $9,250,000 and leasebacks with City of Cleveland for the property commonly known as the City of Cleveland Police Department Headquarters, located at 1300 Ontario Street, Cleveland.
To adopt.
Second?
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. President, if I may, I'd like to read a little statement that'll hopefully help anybody that has any concerns or questions as far as the next three items on the list. I've asked Mr. Dever, Mr. Mills, and Mr. Bova to be here, and this will be Mr. Bova's last rodeo, and we are forever grateful to his leadership, especially in this situation. But as we've heard we heard these past three items in the committee last week, and as you know, the discussions have been ongoing for the past several years. I'd like to thank Mr. Bova, Mr. Dever, Mr. Mills for all their help and their teams that have put this together. This has been something that even before we have existed as a new council and a new government has been something that has been the apple of everyone's eyes. We just couldn't seem to get it done, and here we are today. So today is really an interesting and exceptional day. The three resolutions before us on today's agenda are for the purchase of the Cleveland Police Headquarters, a lease of the Bedford Heights Jail, and a revenue-generating agreement with City of Cleveland for prisoner board and care. The county will purchase the police headquarters building for $9.25 million on October 2nd, 2018. Until then, the county will pay $1 to lease 3 floors of the building and half of the parking spaces in the underground garage. Following the purchase, the city will have the ability to lease back space for up to 3 years at a rate of $10 per square foot with an annual increase. The county will spend roughly $6.2 million in build-out costs over the next 3 years to make the building suitable for our needs. The county will agree to provide board and care for roughly 160 inmates in the Cleveland jail. The county will also be leasing the Bedford Heights Jail for 10 years at a rate of $1 per year to house the additional inmates, and will invest up to $500,000 of improvements in that jail, which will be a male jail, and the Euclid jail will then convert to a female jail. We receive follow-up information from OBM after committee clarification that both the purchase price and the building out costs will be paid out of county reserves. I think this is still up for some discussion, but the concern was how are we going to pay for this? And that's been answered. I think we have different avenues also to do this. The benefits will be the city will pay the county $99 per inmate per day as part of the board and care contract, and will pay the county a one-time deposit of $5.6 million to cover the 9 months of operational costs during the transition period and improvements to the Bedford Heights Jail. The building purchase will give county control over the entire Justice Center complex, giving us flexibility as we move forward in determining the future of that block. This acquisition will allow the county to vacate the Marion Building on West Third Street, which we currently lease for $1.2 million a year, which will help pay for what we're doing here. Finally, we also expect to free up valuable parking spaces in the Justice Center and the Huntington Park Garage, which we expect to generate over $100,000 per year in additional parking revenue. I think we've covered the majority of the concerns. If anyone has any further concerns, this is something that's been out in the public. Cleveland's had this for quite some time. We're going to have two substitutes, Mr. President, on 0111 and 0112, and those are just date changes to make this copacetic with what's before us today. Again, Mr. Dever, thank you very much for all that you have done. I know this has been quite a problem, and you were concerned that we were upset. Believe me, if anything, we were only upset that you were upset. Mr. Bova, again, I can't say enough to you for all that you've done, and we wish you good luck in your future endeavors within the system at Metro Hospital. I can only assume that Metro's is going to be in great hands, and the campuses will remain safe and or safer with your presence. Mr. Mills, I think your heavy lifting has just begun with this, and we look forward to working with you as we move forward in making it safer and better for the inmates in Cuyahoga County, not only to keep them safe and secure, but to afford them opportunities to learn life skills so as they prepare to reintroduce themselves to the public, that they're ready to go, and that we are doing something here that I think is rare and needed in today's society, certainly for those that are incarcerated and that want to get better and to move forward and become part of society again. Again, anybody has any questions, they're all here.
Right. Well, first of all, I want to thank the chairman, Chairman Gallagher, for what I know has been a very long road. And the executive for sticking to this long process. And we will open it up to questions if anybody has some. Councilwoman Simon.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the chair of the committee who's been on this for years. And I want to thank everybody in front of me. 2 questions. I've been out of town and was watching this that I had when I came back. Of course, the first question I had was about parking. And that's been the bane of, I think, Mr. Devers' existence with me. And I'm really pleased to see that this is moving forward as a reasonable cost-saving alternative to, at this point, building out another garage and accommodating the people who, the public who need to use the Huntington parking garage now will have space. I've been assured of that. So thank you, and to the executive for helping solve this problem in a really efficient way. My other question was about why are we doing this when we're probably going to end up either doing something with the Justice Center down the road. Why are we taking on more space? But it makes sense, obviously, to have a whole package and have control over the building, and we will save money in the interim. This makes financial sense to be able to save money with selling the Marion or doing what we're going to do and being ready to move forward in years to come with the Justice Center. So I think this makes good sense, and I'm glad it's moving forward. And I'll save my comments about Director Bova at the end of the meeting.
All right, very good. Any other comments on this legislation? Hearing none.
Mr. President,
Oh,
if
Yes.
I can just say one thing.
sure.
I'd just like to thank Chairman Gallagher. He did some things behind the scenes that nobody's going to know about, nobody knows about, but were invaluable to getting this project done. So I want to publicly thank Chairman Gallagher for his help.
Well, that sounds like Chairman Gallagher.
President, I just want to also thank Mr. Gallagher for his efforts specifically as it relates to 112, and I'd like to add my name to that piece of legislation as Mr. Mayor Fletcher Berger was diligent on, and as it pertained to me, about seeing this through. So thank you for all of your work, and I'm honored to be a part of this. Thank you.
Anybody else? Council President. Yes.
I'm just going to add on to the Mike Gallagher bandwagon. I just wanted to thank him personally. Our whole team thanks him for his patience and professionalism throughout this whole process. Thank you. And Public Safety Committee. Thank you.
Very good. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0111, authorizing a revenue-generating agreement with City of Cleveland for prisoner board and care and other jail services at a per diem rate of $99 and a one-time deposit of $5,603,413.98, effective April 1, 2017.
Move to adopt.
And seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those-
Excuse me, Mr. President.
We need to, Mr. President, we're going to need to amend.
Councilman Gallagher, do you want to address this? You already
if
did
I-
address
if I-
it.
If I, on page 234, you'll find the amendment, and what it does effectively is move the date to coincide with the contracts before us. So for 1/17, it'll be 10/1, I believe, 10/1/17.
All right. So we have a motion to accept the proposed substitute. Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the proposed substitute? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The substitute is adopted. Any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0112, authorizing a lease agreement with City of Bedford Heights in the amount of $10 for lease of Bedford Heights Jail, located at 5661 Perkins Road, Bedford Heights, for operation of county jail facilities for the period July 1, 2017 through June 30, 2027, authorizing the county to make improvements to the Bedford Heights Jail in the amount not to exceed $500,000.
Move to adopt.
Seconded. Councilman?
Mr. President, I would move the proposed substitute found on page 239, again effectively moving the July 1st date to October 1st of 2017.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the proposed substitute? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The proposed substitute is adopted. Any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it.
Excuse me, Mr. President, I'm sorry, point of operation. I did not have a first and second on the actual, okay, and who did the proposed substitute? The same?
Councilman Gallagher and
Thank you.
Councilman Strawn, yes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted on its merits as substituted.
Resolution number 2017-0149, authorizing a contract with Ohio Guidestone in the amount not to exceed $1,153,828 for community-based treatment center management services for the period July 1, 2017 through June 30, 2018.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. President, this is just an extension of an existing contract serving the juvenile court, and we'd like to thank the juvenile court for their patience in dealing with us, dealing with this situation here. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0156, confirming the county executive's appointment or reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community-Based Correctional Facility Governing Board for various terms as printed on the agenda.
So that,
Seconded.
Mr. President, the appointees before our legislation came before the HR committee and gave us some extensive background and as well as their desire to serve on these boards, and I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0157, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires roadway and traffic signal improvements along Warrensville Center Road, Emery Road, Richmond Road, Northfield Road, and Miles Road in the village of North Randall and city of Warrensville Heights. Total estimated project cost $1,552,479.65, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
Move to adopt.
Like to second and add my name, please.
Okay,
Thank
please
you.
add Councilwoman Brown's name, and I'll second the motion. Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. President. On September 18, 2017, Ms. Nicole English of the Public Works Department came before Public Works Procurement Contracting Committee and explained this legislation that's dealing with the Amazon project going up in North Randall. And this project includes various intersections and signal improvements expected to be done by midsummer 2018. The cost of the county will be approximately $300,000 in this project, and I would ask for my colleagues' approval of this and movement on this.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. This is a exciting project. This is part of.
Resolution number 2017-0158, making an award on requisition number 40256 to Fabrizi Recycling Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $3,164,600 for the 2017 sewer repair program in various county sewer districts for the period November 1, 2017 through October 31, 2019.
Move to adopt.
Seconded?
Mr. President, this particular piece of legislation, Ms. English appeared before the same committee on September 18, 2017. This is essentially an award that's going to the lowest bidder. It's for repair for municipal contracts for the bigger repairs that the county doesn't have the machinery to handle. And I would request that we move this legislation forward on second suspension.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0160, authorizing an amendment to agreement number AG 17012 with Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District for disposal of wastewater sewer grit for the period June 1, 2016 through May 31, 2018, for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $800,000.
Move to adopt.
Second.
And Mr. President, this particular piece of legislation, Mr. Dever and Mr. Chambers from Public Works came before the committee on September 18th, explaining the disposal of the grit. Essentially, it's an agreement to remove the grit from the communities who can't handle doing this on their own because there's a contaminant in this and they can't just take it to a regular dump. It has to be gone. Anybody who's gone to Sewer University knows you have to go through an entire process in order to fully handle that grit. So I'd ask for a movement on this legislation as well, moving forward on second suspension.
Everybody in favor of getting rid of this grit, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The grit is removed.
Resolution number 2017-0161, making awards to various municipalities, each in the amount not to exceed $150,000 for the SBA Municipal County Small Business Financing Initiative Pilot Number 2 program for the period October 1, 2017 through September 30, 2019.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Councilman?
Yeah, this is the second round of this program in which the individual communities had to compete for being part of it. They also make a contribution towards the program, and I think it's one of these ones where we're encouraging small businesses and micro businesses to get their feet on the ground and get started up. And so this is what this program is all geared around. So I would encourage everyone to support this because it's the foundation of job building is the small business.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0162, authorizing an economic development fund place-based mixed-use loan in the amount not to exceed $2,500,000 to Link 59 Leverage Lender for the benefit of the Phoenix Building Project located at the intersection of East 61st Street and Euclid Avenue, Cleveland.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded.
This is just almost the opposite of what we just passed, and this is a very complicated financing package. Involves a lot of moving parts to that, and it also addresses one of the concerns that a lot of us have when you see a grocery store leaving in an area, creating potentially a food desert. This is one in which Dave's Supermarket is committing to stay in this area, and so it's exciting to have them be part of this. I think that when you see these stacks of the way the financing has to be put together, This is a real balancing act that Economic Development Department had to do, and all the other funding sources that it came together for this.
Councilwoman?
I understand that this is going to encourage or enable the supermarket to move from its current location to a newer location uptown, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So I wasn't here in the committee because I was out of town, but how easily is it going to be for people who use the store as a neighborhood store, who walk there now, to be able to utilize those services and be able to continue to shop?
Well, it's a short
Far
distance
is
away
it?
from its current.
Walking?
Well, it is on public transportation route, so if you moved it a little bit further away, the people who were walking before are gonna probably take public transportation, but the people who are now in the new location will be walking. So, it's a movement from one group that was walking, you need public transportation, to another group that will walk, that will be in close proximity.
And was there a plan to finance this project from other sources prior to the county's approval or potential approval? I mean, was this already in the works without the county's assistance? Did you get into those questions?
No, they needed our funding to complete the package. There are multiple sources that are involved in this, because it's got tax credits that are going forward for different pieces that all make up this complex. So it's not just Dave's Supermarket that's in here. There's other pieces that are part of this whole complex.
And what's the overall rationale for the move?
The size of the store was their flagship original store that they put in Dave's Supermarkets, I think 35, 40 years ago, and it's dated and was not able to expand and grow the way the people wanted it in that neighborhood. They wanted to have a state-of-the-art grocery store, and unfortunately, the current space was not able to accommodate it, so they are building this new project, and I think it's going to be a showpiece for that neighborhood now. And it's very close proximity, so we're not talking a great deal of distance. The good news is that because they're only moving a short distance, they indicated during testimony that the majority of the workforce is all going to be staying with Dave's as they move from one location down to the next.
Okay, thank you.
As the facility as Dave's moves from Payne to Euclid Avenue, tell me, have there been any assurances about the location that they're leaving? I'm sure Dave does not want it to be a supermarket as well, but what about the community? Are there any assurances that this building will be put to viable use?
Yeah, Dave's obviously has money invested, and so they're, like any good owner of property, wants to get it up and activated, and they believe they have some folks who are already interested in the property as they indicated.
Who are they partnering with as they determine who will rent or?
Yeah, as far as who, they didn't bring up the end user in a public forum at this point. That's something that they're probably working on in their own private, negotiations as to how they get the subsequent people to come into that old space.
So were there any hard commitments to rent it, to sell it, as Dave maintained ownership of it?
Oh, Dave's the commitment, I believe. Do we have anybody here from Economic Development? I believe that Dave's was indicating that it was desirous of moving it, not necessarily staying in their ownership.
The councilman's done
Is that correct?
The councilman's done a good job here, but just
Yeah,
let's
we
remember,
have-
this is an administrative initiative. So,
Yes. As far as their site on Payne Avenue, they gave assurances that they're looking to get that site redeveloped. That becomes a liability for them because they own that land. So it is advantageous to them to move that site and put it back to productive use.
So Dave still does own it?
Correct. They own it at this point. That site just wouldn't really work for them for the expansion and what they needed to remain committed to keeping a store on the near east side of Cleveland at that location.
So you're in the heart of the Asian community there. Are you working with the neighborhood organizations there in determining who?
I believe the city of Cleveland had some public meetings there 6-7 months ago. There was a lot of outreach, and I think there was some discussion about running some shuttles back and forth from the Payne Avenue site over to Chester, where the store will actually be, because it's going to be on the northern part of that parcel over at Euclid and 61st.
Please state your name for the record.
And yes, I'm Tony Stella with the Department of Development.
All right, well, we have to admit that there's been some controversy from the beginning about the fact that Dave's was going to close down one location and open up the other. Talked about this over a long period of time, supported by the city of Cleveland. Nothing, let's just say that I would express the opinion that the benefits of the project outweigh the downside that is also apparent.
Correct.
Any other questions about this project? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Any opposed? All right. Legislation is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0163, authorizing amendments to contracts with various providers for various services in connection with the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act for the period July 1, 2016 through June 30, 2017, to extend the time period to June 30, 2018, and for additional funds for the contracts, providers, and amounts as printed on the agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded.
So I'm going to have my colleague, Vice Chair of the committee, Chantel Brown, talk about this legislation since she so graciously chaired the meeting.
Thank you, Councilwoman Simon. These contracts were extensions of services that were provided to the reentry population, as if my memory serves me correct, and the details of the contract were rolled out in the Education, Environment, and Sustainability meeting, and I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
Mr. President.
Yes, Councilman.
We are making a very important transition and enhancement in our workforce programs, moving to a career pathway model with high-quality living wage employment as the measure of success. I view this as a very positive and long overdue development. There are two strategic areas where additional work would be very beneficial. One is that our workforce programs remain fragmented. A more unified system would be less costly, more effective, and easier to understand and navigate. The second is taking the concept of career pathway to scale. Programs based on the career pathway concept look very promising, but we need to be able to serve a whole lot more people at reasonable cost if we are able to move the needle on workforce and employment. I also support the resolution.
If I can.
Is that Councilwoman Simon's
Sorry.
name?
Yes.
And Mr. President, I would also like my name added.
Add Councilman Miller's name, Councilman Harrison's name, and anybody else, Councilman Tuma's name, and Councilman Baker's name, and Councilman, why don't you just add the council, put all the councilmen on there? Very popular piece of
I was
legislation.
going to say, to that point, Mr. Chair, the resources, these were funds that are also being reimbursed, and the reimbursement that we get, the dollars that we are given by the state, we are getting somewhere in the neighborhood of a 3-to-1 return on it. So we're really maximizing the dollars here. So this is a great use of funds.
Thank you, Councilwoman. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0164, authorizing an amendment to agreement number AG 1400-121 with City of Cleveland for cellular 911 public safety answering point services originating in the City of Cleveland for the period October 20, 2014 through October 19, 2017, to extend the time period to October 19, 2019, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,200,000.
Move to adopt.
Moved and seconded. Councilman.
Mr. President, this is a 2-year extension with City of Cleveland for cellular 911 services. Committee heard this recommendation is adoption.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0166, making awards on requisition number 38919 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $9,565,386 for expansion of universal pre-kindergarten in Cuyahoga County for the period August 1, 2017 through July 31, 2020, waiving the requirement in County Code Section 501.15A2 with respect to Cleveland Municipal School District and Euclid City School District for the providers as printed on the agenda. Additionally, council members Hairston and Brown would like to be a sponsor to this legislation.
To adopt.
Yeah.
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. President, sure, I want to defer to my colleague again, Chantel Brown, but just say thank you to the administration for the work to expand what we always called universal pre-K, which isn't yet universal, but it's working its way toward that with the additions of the sites. So Chantel, colleague Brown.
Absolutely, Councilwoman Simon. I echo those sentiments. The expansion that Councilwoman Simon is speaking of was initiated by the $10 million investment that this council approved. The administration, County Executive Budish and his team leveraged that $10 million to earn an additional investment through public-private partnerships of $14 million, which afforded us the privilege of providing more than 2,000 additional children with high-quality education for their pre-kindergarten education. So this is another what I would consider outstanding piece of legislation that I am very proud to be a part of. So we took a number from 2,000 students up to over 4,000 students that will be receiving high-quality pre-K care. So I respectfully and humbly, and more than that, really encourage my colleagues to support this legislation.
Mr. President,
Councilman?
I would like my name added, please.
Or would like his name added?
Add my name?
Then please.
Please add my name as well, Mr. President.
Would you please add all of the council members' names to this legislation? This is some popular legislation this evening. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. All right. Miscellaneous committee reports. Are there any committee reports? We'll start down here.
Mr. President and my colleagues, on Monday, October 2nd at 1 o'clock, which is the usual Finance Committee time, we have the meeting where we get the audit findings, and that meeting is certainly open to all members of council. And immediately after that meeting, we're going to have Finance Committee to consider the items that were referred today. I'd like to schedule that meeting for 2 o'clock. The audit meeting might take a little bit longer than that, but if we schedule it for 2 o'clock, we'll be able to start the Finance Committee immediately when the audit meeting concludes, and hopefully be completed in time for the 3 o'clock meeting on the same day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee will meet on Wednesday, October 4th at 10 a.m. I just want to make that announcement.
Mr. Chairman, Community Development Committee will meet Monday, October 2nd at 10 a.m.
Environment Education meets October 4th at 3 p.m. on Wednesday.
All right. Getting busy around here. Any miscellaneous business? Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mr. President. If this is a good time, I just wanted to say a few words to Director Bova.
Sure.
On his behalf. Hello. I just wanted to say from the beginning of the new government, when I started and we started, Director Bova was a sheriff and was always readily available to help us with this knowledge and background and experience, and really enabled me as a individual council member to understand how your department functioned and just learned a lot and appreciated your advice and your readiness to speak to us with a phone call and call me back. And I'll remember you always for helping with the animal abuse registry. You supported that and helped me navigate it through the system, and it at the end of the day was really important that you were there to support it. And I wanted to say thank you for everything, and you'll be remembered with that because it became a national story, and we were one of the first counties to ever do this, and so I'm proud that you were part of that, and wish you well, and you'll be really missed.
Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to Mr. Bova, just wanted to congratulate you on you're moving on, and I know that I know you've been crying. I know you've been sad that you are leaving us. But listen, congratulations on your new endeavors, and I've supported you always, and I'll continue to support you. Thank you for always being readily available. As my colleague has said, you were a big help to me coming into the council. After the council had been in play for quite some time, you've really helped me get on board with understanding the public safety part of what we do. So again, thank you for everything, and I wish you well.
Chief, I had the pleasure of working with you before County Council, as he was a member of the Warrensville Heights family, and so we share a long history. And so I'm not sure if this is a sign of where I'll be going next. I don't know what to make of this, but no, I wish you the best, and I'm sure we will continue to keep in touch. Good luck.
And Sheriff Bova, I just want to thank you again for all the service you've given to this county over the years. I've appreciated the service that you have given, and I just wish you the best as you continue in your future endeavors.
Councilwoman, were you lobbying to be the new CEO of Metro?
I never know what my future holds.
Clearly, we found that out this year, didn't we? Anybody else? Councilman Timmer.
Yeah. Just want to wish Sheriff Bova well over at Metro Health. Didn't get to know you too well, but I can tell in the time that I was here, you're very professional, and my colleagues always spoke very highly of you and appreciate your service to the county. Thank you.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. President, I would also like to thank you, Sheriff Bova, for your very extensive, dedicated, and innovative service to Cuyahoga County, and wish you the very best of success at Metro. And I would also like to take this opportunity under miscellaneous business to comment on a couple of significant events that I've had the opportunity to attend since the last meeting. The first is that, along with Councilwoman Conwell, I attended the Health Improvement Partnership Forum, which is bringing together a wide collaboration of community stakeholders to deal with equity, diversion, and inclusion in healthcare. So it's very, very significant work. The second is that I also attended the Say Yes to Education Forum, and Greater Cleveland is in the process of applying for a $15 million grant to leverage a $100 million local fundraising effort to hopefully make tuition scholarship of assistance available to every graduate of the Cleveland Public Schools, and also do some connected things around wraparound services and personal development. So it's we would be only the fourth city in the country to receive that grant. So it would be very significant if we're able to achieve it. Thank you.
Any public comment unrelated to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Rico Dancy.
Oh, okay, wow. Good afternoon, good evening. The training. Oklahoma's a deaf guy just lost his life last week. I'm gonna head down there. It was on CNN. A deaf guy lost his life with equal access. How is the police, how is the sheriff trained how to deal with the mental health? Do we have the right interpreter service for the county? If people who are deaf come to any of your meetings, okay? Tomorrow, I'm filing a civil rights case in the federal courthouse, okay? Have no choice. This is not the person, this is about business. Government is business. When the city of Cleveland and the Board of Elections decided to play politics, okay? Me, my cousin went to the board meeting, okay? We asked them on the second floor, make sure you have an interpreter. No. We told City Hall last Friday, last Thursday, no. So the ADA law says equal access to all people with a disability. That's what the law says. We're going to hold the city accountable. We're going to hold the Board of Elections accountable. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I will be submitting my lawsuit papers in the district court to let the city of Cleveland know we're not taking this. We want access like y'all give everybody access, okay? Another question. What do the $88 million do the city budget and the county budget have any to do with our county executive? That's the question what we have. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, that's what I will be filing, okay? I filled out the paperwork already. Now, all the news is gonna be there, and we're gonna discuss this problem. And I'm gonna continue to fight this to make sure all people with a disability, any kind of disability, have equal access. When they don't have equal access, we are suing cities, government to let them know we're not taking this no more. If a person speaks Spanish, y'all get them a Spanish interpreter. That's what we're going to do for now, okay? Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
Yes, Reverend Pinckney Butts.
Good evening, everybody that's assembled here today. I just came to encourage somebody today. Not talk about problems and situations. We have enough of those, and you all are working on that stuff. I will begin having some regular church services on the Sabbath at 15415 Kipling from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October the 7th of this year. It's time to bring down some stuff. It's time for peace. All this going back and forth. It's time for peace. As one songwriter would say, it's not over, it's not finished. When God is in it, there is no limit. It's time for it to be over, you all. You don't have deaf ears. It's time for peace and some solutions. There's too much bloodshed in the land. And I came to encourage you to do right and start writing some legislation that changes and saves lives. There's too much murder in this land. It's not over. It's not finished. When God is in it, there is no limit, and He's in it. He's seeing everything that we do when we walk out of this place. It's time for peace. At the rate we're going, the earth will be blown up with all these weapons. I know you agree with me, Executive Budish. It's time for peace. Peaceful resolutions, peaceful negotiations. And our babies don't need this. God bless you.
Thank you.
Ms. Liu?
Ms. Liu. All right.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I think the time is still the afternoon. I'm here, of course, I will talk about something. Also, we need a good legislations and resolutions to improve the situation. However, homelessness is something you cannot schedule, you cannot really budget, because it's totally unpredictable, just like natural disasters. Ironically, the former NEOC executive director, Brian Davis, the hater, lots of people consider, now is currently homeless in Puerto Rico because of the Hurricane Maria. Well, another one is an everyday occurrence. I'm here today, actually, I want to thank our council member Conwell especially. She is having a special event in the whole October for the people suffering from domestic violence. This is not an issue only for females. It's also an issue for males. So not just Councilman Baker or Brown or Simon, they would be up to it. I wish all the gentlemen here think about it too. In homeless shelter currently, you have all kinds of people coming for all different reasons. Unfortunately, when HUD make up all the rules and regulation, all their statistics didn't really encounter domestic violence. Now you have a female coming to this shelter on Payne Avenue. That's because the previous 100 domestic violence situations done by the insignificant mother or even a parent or violent siblings were not really taken care of. So once she is fed up, she tried to get her voice out. Guess what? She became the one throwing her first punch. She will be taken out of the house. She can be homeless for that reason too. Yes, unfortunately, lots of people experience domestic violence. They are still in denial. That's the reason why I came here to thank Councilmember Conwell, because this whole series event in whole October is very important. However, we need more than this kind of education for the people already in this trouble. We actually need your help to take any opportunities to educate all the people, because there are lots of people they can help to prevent. They can help to save those people's life. Don't forget, domestic violence lots of time also including children's. I'm not talking about, children, I'm talking about even toddlers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments?
No, Mr. President.
All right. Well, this council meeting is adjourned.